What's up, family? Nick Wright Bodybuilding. So first off, I want to say before I say anything more in this video is if you like the flat bench press, if you find that you are making gains from it and you're seeing progress from it, keep it. Keep using it. It's been one of my favorite exercises for years. I've used it religiously for the last like 6 years or so. Still using it. So I love the flat bench, obviously, especially if you're training for power or strength. It's addicting, it's fun, it has its benefits. However, in the last video I did, which was titled Rest Times Between Sets, I was basically going over in the voiceover how I usually always do decline and incline for pressing, and then I'll do flies and all the other fun stuff. And I mentioned how I was only doing flat because we didn't have a decline bench in that vicinity, and how I feel that flat bench is overall pointless. Now, I will apologize and take responsibility for saying it's pointless and just leaving it at that, because that's a little too general, a little too vague, and a little inaccurate. It's not pointless in general. Obviously, it has its benefits depending on your goals. But what I meant, one, absolutely pointless for me. For my build, as you guys have seen, one of the comments on there was, says flat bench is pointless, has no chest. Well, exactly. All I used was the flat bench for years and years and years and years and years and have no chest. So there you go. That proves it right there. But more importantly, my point was that it's one of the, not useless, but it's the least effective pressing movement as far as activating pectoral fibers goes and building a chest. So if you're trying to bodybuild, you want to get that chest bigger, it's really the least effective exercise to use. And honestly, I was pretty amazed. I was actually my jaw was a little bit dropped, because typically when I make a video and any sort of dispute of bro science versus real facts comes up, you know, with like flexible dieting or like, you know, 3DMG's push-pull method. I've heard you guys recommend that to me, which is obviously one of the most optimal training styles for a natural athlete. You see like Matt Ogus, who also never does flat barbell bench, by the way. You see him do it all the time, etc. My point is, you guys are pretty on point with your facts, and I see you guys checking me all the time with it. Yet when this came up, there's a lot of old bro science that came up. I'm going to read some of the comments that really stunned me, like surprised me. Flat bench is useless? Sure, buddy, sure. Flat bench is dangerous and useless. Are you trying to lose credibility to your channel? Flat bench is the main pressing angle, man. People say that flat bench sucks. For chest are pussies that get all their workouts info from bodybuilding.com. Like, what happened in this one? I was surprised to see this one, because that comment right there sounds like a comment you would hear from bodybuilding.com, to be honest. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what I meant by why it's the least effective and the most dangerous. One, it's the most dangerous simply just because the actual alignment of your spine and the way it forces your rotator cuffs to angle themselves at, even if you're using perfect safe posture, it's just the least natural angle for your rotator cuffs. Something like dips or decline pressing can obviously be very dangerous on your shoulders, but that's actually a much more natural movement. If you think about day-to-day activities, what you have to do regularly, hoisting yourself up onto something, that's a very natural angle for your shoulders to be moving in. More so than this. We're almost never having to do this exact angle. And in fact, the bench press in general is a really unnatural movement if you think about it. Deadlifts, squats, shoulder pressing, all these movements are things that we have to do day to day. You're never really using a bench press angle or a bench press motion in day-to-day activities. Some people will say that it's good for, you know, building power up. So if you're doing football, you can push or you can punch. As far as punching goes, it's almost not even related. If you have a strong bench press, yeah, you'll be able to throw some power around, but look at it like this. I'm sure I can bench more than little Floyd Mayweather can, yet that man can punch a lot harder and a lot faster than I will ever be able to. It makes sound when he punches in midair. So they're not really related. That's the whole fast twitch versus slow twitch thing. As far as football, yeah, it can definitely add some power. Like I said, it's not a useless bench press. I apologize for saying that. It's not useless. But when it comes to trying to build your chest up, look at it like this. Decline bench. It's been proven, it's been shown that the decline movement activates the most fibers in the pectoral muscle. So it activates more fibers than a flat bench press will, as in you're going to be hitting your chest more. It's also safer on your shoulders, ever so slightly, than flat bench. So you're protecting your shoulders more and you're activating your chest more by doing decline. So why would you even need to do flat bench if decline is safer and more effective? Incline is obviously all upper chest, and it's going to hit a little bit of your delt tie-in region, but that's an area that everybody lacks. This is the area that gives you that thick boom of a chest. So that's obviously a necessity. You can't take out incline anyway. And as far as flat dumbbell pressing goes, flat dumbbell pressing is even slightly more beneficial for muscle building, again, muscle hypertrophy in my opinion, because it hits your stabilizers, so we'll develop that, and it allows you better range of motion, so you can actually contract your chest inward together more so than a fixed barbell would allow you to. So you're actually getting better activation in the chest with flat dumbbells as well. A perfect example is, again, Matt Ogus's workout, who's under the coaching guidance of 3D Muscle Journey. You look at his chest workout, his push day, it's generally going to be like incline and decline, and the only time he really does flat is if he's doing dumbbells, which is fine. I do flat dumbbells as well too. So really, I don't know where, if I'm missing something, if there's an argument that any of you had actually thought of that maybe I'm not thinking of when you're trying to defend flat bench, let me know. I mean, you guys know I'm always open to learning new things, of course, and if I'm wrong, then hey, I can add that into my regimen. But as far as the facts show, decline's more efficient and slightly safer. Incline is a necessity. Flies activate pectoral muscle fibers amazingly. Flat bench activates the least amount of fibers of the 3 pressing angles, and it's the most dangerous. So kind of got to ask yourself why you even bother using it. Again, if you do get good results of it, there's probably a high chance that you are genetically blessed with chest. I know some people that do use the flat barbell bench religiously. It's their bread and butter, their chest workout, but they're also genetically blessed with having great chest as it is. And I mean, that's how it is with any muscle group that you're blessed with. You can kind of just do the basic movements for it and see results from. But for people that are really trying to bring up that chest like me and focus on really maximizing muscle hypertrophy and gaining that size and development, I recommend decline and incline, and then if you do flat, even dumbbells. I mean, like I said, I do flat from time to time with barbell. It's fun. It's fun to do, but that's what I meant by it being useless. I don't understand how anybody else could argue that. It's the most popular exercise, but it's not the main exercise. What's going on, family? It's Nick Wright Bodybuilding. Your side delts, the medial head of the deltoid, the sides of your shoulders, the one muscle group that gives you that width, that gives you that pop to your physique. Best way to work those: side lateral raises. The way you probably do those, if you're like me and about 90% of other lifters, is you take a moderately heavy dumbbell, you bend your arms in so they're not as high as a curl, but they're not straight armed either, and you then drive your elbows up to the ceiling, elbows staying higher than your hands at all times, and you're gonna make your pinkies reach towards the sky, as in